Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath. I can't gesture to myself. I can't point to myself because I've got my hands full with these awesome movies, and I'm gonna do this before I drop them. I've tried this several times and I've dropped them a few times. In the center, we have Daughters of Darkness making a 4K debut from Blue Underground, and on either side, we have new restorations of The Last Starfighter and Mallrats from Arrow. These are brand new. They are stunning, you guys. All three of these movies are feasts for the eyes. All right, I did it. I did it without dropping them. Let's dive into Daughters of Darkness first. This is the latest 4K. This is a 4K Blu-ray and CD version of Daughters of Darkness. Now, if you've seen the previous version, the previous edition, I guess it's the Blu-ray edition of Daughters of Darkness, this is night and day. It's been given a new restoration. This a 4K 16-bit restoration from its long lost original 35mm camera negative, and it looks so good. I know some of you guys don't like things to look too good, and I say this is not Blue Underground has been nailing the 4K scene. We got Zombie on 4K, we got Maniac on 4K, we got the New York Ripper, and we have The House by the Cemetery. What up, Bob? There are Serial at Midnight reviews for all of those 4Ks, and I get comments from you guys, and you say, well, I don't like my movies to look too good. But these are representative of what these movies are supposed to look like. This is not an artificial cleanup. This is what they did look like. When the filmmakers, when the producer and the director, do I do names? Harry Kumel, I think that's right. When this was first struck to a 35mm print, that 35mm negative, that's what this would have looked like. So we're taking years and decades off of these things. These are not artificially sharpened. This is what they're supposed to look like. This is what they did look like when these filmmakers made these movies. And this, what I like to say about, I don't really get too bogged down in modern 4Ks because everything's shot digitally now, and that's diminished returns. But when you get into stuff like this, films shot on actual film, you get a 4K restoration that goes into that camera negative. Holy cow, you guys. There is nothing like it. It's like being, here's what I like to say. This is if you hear anybody else say this, you come let me know. It's like being in the theater on the first run, the first night, the first showing of that movie, opening weekend, and brand new, crystal clear, pristine print, looking like film. That's what it's supposed to look like. It looks stunning. More importantly, this movie itself is pretty stunning. If you haven't seen Daughters of Darkness, there's a Tom Jones song called Daughter of Darkness, and every time I say Daughters of Darkness, I hear Tom Jones just wailing it out. Now, I can't sing it for you because YouTube, the Google overlords will come and they'll say, hey, that's copyright infringement. And then they handcuff you. You know what? Maybe there's some of that going on in Daughters of Darkness. It's a very mature, very adult horror film. Now, I don't say adult in the sense of it's a Jess Franco movie, although there is some of that. It's not an adult film, but it has adult themes in the sense of it's just it doesn't hold your hand. It's not we don't have narration 5 minutes ago. That was what I was thinking when I saw the empty glass. There's none of that. It doesn't hold your hand. It's just a very mature, exploratory movie about these characters that converge upon this pretty much empty hotel in 1971. And being a 1971 movie, there's a lot of the free spirit. This is coming out of we're in the aftermath, the death glow of the Summer of Love. Altamont has happened, so it's cynical, it's darker, but there's still a foot in what was the 60s. And it just has this very exploratory, that's a good word for this movie, very exploratory. See, some of you guys are gonna be like, wait, isn't this the movie with the lesbians? It is, but there's a whole lot more to the movie than that. I feel like this movie is really about character. It's about the boredom of immortality. It's about curiosity. It's that late 60s, early 70s sexuality, the sexual exploration that's kind of wrapped up into these characters. There's a lot going on here. It's a really beautiful movie. It's a fantastic movie. And it's, again, it looks like not $1 million. It looks like $5 million. It looks so good. It's got some special features. I think these are carried over from the previous Blu-ray edition. But it's got an audio commentary with the co-writer and director Harry Kumel. It has an audio commentary with stars John Carlin. And star John Carlin and journalist David Del Valle. And a new audio commentary with Kat Ellinger. She does good commentaries, and she's popping up all over the place. She's on Indicator. She's on Kino Lorber. Kat Ellinger's everywhere. Locations of Darkness. I believe these are carried over. Locations of Darkness is basically the co-writer and the co-producer, the director as well. Yeah, the director. Anyway, the people that made the movie revisiting the locations and talking about their experiences of filming the movie in those locations. Then there's an interview with star Danielle Ouimet, is how I'm going to say it. She's from Quebec, I believe, so there's going to be a definite French push on that. So Danielle Ouimet, that's how I'll say it. And another interview with star Andrea Rao. That's her right there. You know what? There's alternate artwork under. I've done a disservice. I haven't even showed you the alternate artwork here or the goodies. So there's this. First of all, there's a booklet. I know not everybody's into a booklet. Lord help me, I love a booklet. Let me make sure I can show you some of this. Like, this is talking about this movie being for adults. I think I can show you this. It's just like lots of text, lots of photos, wonderful. Literary, like artistic criticisms of the film itself. This is a movie that really lends itself to both horror fans, art movie fans, Euro movie fans. There's a lot of it's kind of at the cross section of Jess Franco fans. There's a lot of stuff in here for you too. We have the movie on 4K. We have the movie on Blu-ray. You know what? Let me show you this has the art that's on the, got two different pieces of art. So I did not do that well. Hold on. We have two different pieces of art for the 4K and the Blu-ray, and then CD soundtrack, you guys. And this movie has a gorgeous soundtrack. It's an absolutely beautiful, dark, haunting soundtrack, and we get it. That's, you know, Blue Underground has been doing these combo packs. I think we have them for, I know we have the one for New York Ripper, and House by the Cemetery, I believe. I think we have reviews for those here on the channel that include the CDs. Most of those combo packs, it was like the Blu-ray and then maybe a DVD and then a CD soundtrack. This is just going straight to 4. It's the first, as far as I know, I believe, because I've been reviewing all of these as they come out. This is the first 4K combo pack to include the CD soundtrack. And that's great. I'm so happy for it. So Blue Underground continues to nail the 4K format releases. Again, I know some of you guys are like, well, I don't want it to look too good. It looks like it's supposed to look. And if you've never seen these, like, I mean, seriously, this movie has so much more power than it ever has before, because it's like, it's just there. It's like you are seeing it anew for the first time. It's wonderful. Now let's talk about these. These are equally exciting for me. Now these are not 4K, but these do come from, I think both of these are sourced from new 4K restorations. I'm looking for, yeah, we'll get into it in a second, but which one of these do we start with? Let me know. Let's do do we start with Mallrats? Do we start with The Last Starfighter? All right, it looks like The Last Starfighter has won. So first of all, I want you guys to see how, you know, like slipcovers are really big. They're a really big deal right now. Like some companies are selling just slipcovers. And I always say, like, I appreciate a good slipcover, but the movie is what matters most to me. And then this came, and I was like, well, I don't know. I'd pay a lot of extra money for that slipcover. It is. Is the metallic, the shininess of it showing up? Like it's got this foil thing. It's not foil. I don't even know how they do it, but it's like metallic, and even on the sides, it's got. Can you see the Starfighter? I don't know if that's showing up in the light. Oh, there we go. Man, this thing is just gorgeous, but it doesn't stop there. As with Arrow and the quality they bring to everything they do, you get the alternate artwork underneath. We're going to get to all of these special features in just a second. But first, I just wanted you to say, now this is a single disc affair. And after the Blue Underground stuff, it's tempting to be like, well, you know, it's just a Blu-ray. But it's not just a Blu-ray. So let's do this together. Be like, yeah. So we have another mother flipping booklet. Oh man, I forgot there was a poster in here. There's a poster in here too. Another booklet. I love my booklets. I love to learn about movies. I mean, it's great to watch the movie itself. Listen, real talk, okay? The movie is what matters. And there's an awful lot of fluffy, puffy special features out there that don't add anything to our understanding of the movie. We must never put special features before what we can take from the movie itself. But when you get good special features, as Arrow and Blue Underground, like when you have people associated with the movie talking about their experiences on the movie, that's about as good as it gets. So before we dive into the special features, I do have to show you this poster that comes with The Last Starfighter. So we get, you have this is the, I think this is the image that so many of us are familiar with. And this is the other side of the poster. So you have a two-sided poster. You have reversible artwork. You have the booklets. Even at, you know, presentation alone, boom, like that's great. Did you see the disc itself? The disc looks like a heads-up display. So good. So good, man. Okay. Brandly new. It's a brandly new restoration from a 4K scan of the original 35mm camera negative. You guys, outside of this being on 4K, that's as good as it gets. And I do hope that this does get a full 4K upgrade, because we would notice the difference. I'm super happy to have a 4K restoration, especially since Arrow sent this to me to tell you guys about. So thank you, Arrow, and thank you to Blue Underground as well. But I do support. Arrow has just started with 4K, like actual 4Ks. We have the Pitch Black, the Vin Diesel Pitch Black movie. They did that for 4K. We've got Tremors coming for 4K. So Arrow is dipping their toe in the 4K waters, and this is one that I would love to see this on 4K. Okay, anyway, 35mm camera negative restoration in 4K, high definition Blu-ray presentation, English subtitles, you know, anything like this is going to have subtitles and all that stuff. Brand new audio commentary with star Lance Guest and his son Jackson Guest. Brand new audio commentary with Mike White of the Projection Booth podcast. Archival audio commentary with director Nick Castle, Nick the Shape Castle, and production designer Ron Cobb. Maggie's Memories, revisiting The Last Starfighter, a new interview with Catherine Mary Stewart. Into the Starscape, composing The Last Starfighter, a new interview with composer Craig Betuel, I think I'm saying that right. Interstellar Hit Beast, creating the special effects, a new interview with special effects supervisor Kevin Pike. Pause. I've seen two people. Some people equals two people. I've seen two people since this was released saying that they wish that this had new special effects. No, man. Those original special effects are what make this so of its time. This movie lives and breathes in the time that it was created in. I don't want to see companies like George Lucas special editioning their classic movies. Like those, yes, they look like they're from the 80s. They don't look realistic, but that's part of, it's like Star Fox graphics, right? But that's one of the things that makes it so, like, that's the movie. That's the movie that we all saw. I can see the appeal for some people if they did like, hey, we're going to go in and give you an alternate version. I guess I do see the appeal, but that's not how the movie was made. This is how the movie was made. This is what it's been for 40 years, or, you know, 35, or however long it's been. So I just wanted an aside about, if you're wondering, the Serial at Midnight stances, you never mess with the original presentation. And if you do, you darn well better make sure that we have the original presentation preserved, so we don't have any of this this Star Wars mess where we only have like Jedi rocks, and we don't have, we have Jedi rocks, we don't have Lopty neck. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. All right. Excalibur Test, Inside the Digital Productions, a new interview with sci-fi author Greg Bear, on Digital Productions, the company responsible for the CGI in The Last Starfighter. Greetings, Starfighter, inside the arcade game, an interview with the arcade game collector Estelle Vance on reconstructing the Starfighter game. Heroes of the Screen, an archival featurette, Crossing the Frontier, the making of The Last Starfighter. the archival for the original 4-part documentary. Here's what I want you to know. I have the previous version of this on Blu-ray. In fact, we did a Serial at Midnight group watch for Patreon. Some of you guys, a lot of you are Patreon supporters. We did a Patreon group watch of The Last Starfighter, and that old Blu-ray, it looks fine. This blows it away. And one of the things that I wasn't aware of is how much they'd made. You know, there's a trend right now to make everything kind of teal. This doesn't have the teal push, but the last version does have the teal push. So shirts that are supposed to be, just atmospheres in general that are supposed to be like white, they end up kind of blue-green, kind of this kind of thing in the old version, and that's all been done away with. So once again, a 4K restoration presenting the movie as it looked first run, first night, first showing. And that's really the highest compliment I can give something. The only way this could look better is if this 4K transfer was not being compressed onto a Blu-ray. Something we need to talk about too. You take a 4K transfer. This is one of my criticisms of the Friday the 13th box set. You take a 4K transfer. The only way you're getting 4K on that is if you put it on a 4K disc. 4K is 4 times the resolution of a Blu-ray. So if you take a 4K resolution scan, a restoration, you put it on a Blu-ray, you're going down to 1/4 of what it could look like. But I understand that 4K is an expensive proposition. It's still in development. It's still something that's being adopted by guys like me. And there's a lot of skeptics still. So Last Starfighter in 4K in the future. Here's hoping. Let's end with Mallrats. That kid is back on the escalator. Guys, Mallrats is it is my favorite Kevin Smith movie. I think it's a lot of your guys's, hey you guys, I think it's a lot of your favorite Kevin Smith movie as well. I think a lot of you think it's your, this is many of your, hey, a lot of you guys like this movie as much as I do. There we go. Mallrats is, it's a great movie. It's so quotable. It has so much fun and life to it. And coming after Clerks, this movie made so many of us a fan for life. I'd go as far as to say there's magic in Mallrats that has never been recaptured. It's that young Jason Lee. It's, like the jokes. I mean, young Ben Affleck. There's all these elements that they were only this one particular time. Like, once upon a time in young Hollywood. And you can never go back again, but it's just such a, for a 90s kid, I'm an 80s kid, but I was like in college around, it was like late high school, college when this was catching on, and it just takes me back, it takes me back to Weezer being the best album, and the Blue Album by Weezer being the best album ever. Mallrats, this is an equally awesome package, but let me tell you a little bit about it. So, optional subtitle. Okay, here we go. Limited edition content, brand new restoration by Arrow Films of both the theatrical and the extended cuts. Approved by director Kevin Smith and cinematographer David Klein. The TV cut of the film featuring hilarious overdubs to cover up profanity. I guess this is the equivalent of like Melon Farmer in Die Hard. You guys, that's yippee-ki-yay, Melon Farmer. Melon Farmer is part of my lexicon now because of that Die Hard, TV cut. High definition presentation, collector's booklet featuring new writing by Philip Kemp, a fold-out poster featuring replica blueprints. Okay, this is kind of spoiling stuff I want to show you. Let's do that. Let's go in real quick. New art, OG art. There's the back. Look at all this stuff. All that's just features. All right, here we go. We get there's the magic eye. Can you say magic eye? Like, that's copyright, right? But that's what it is. Alright guys, for the rest of this video, I'm just going to be trying to see what's here. Alright, here's the first disc. We got Rooker. Would you care for a warm salted pretzel? Warm chocolate covered pretzel. And here is there's our second disc. Now, the contents of this edition are this booklet. Suzanne, you're all that I wanted in a girl. You're all that I needed in the world. So many photos, text. Now, this is the coolest. If you would have told me like 5 years ago, like, hey Heath, one day you're gonna have blueprints from Mallrats, I'd be like, whatever, I guess, if you say so. Check out the blueprints. These are Jay and Silent Bob's blueprints for the operations This is Operation Dark Knight. I think there's probably profanity on here, so hopefully, you know, I'll hold it up quick enough that you can't see. Operation Dark Knight and Operation Drive-By. Here's what we're gonna do, Silent Bob. Snickety snick. Boom. Okay. Now what if I just, the rest of the video is just me doing snoogans. Okay. Here, let's get back to the special features. Because there's a ton of stuff here. Audio commentary with director Jason Lee. No. Audio commentary with director Kevin Smith, producer Scott Mosier, archivist Vincent Pereira, and actors Jason Lee, Ben Affleck, and Jason Mewes. That's the holdover commentary. This is a hilarious commentary. It's absolutely great. In fact, I believe he said in a previous, like the commentaries from the DVDs and stuff are kind of what led him to podcasting in the first place. He was like, wait a minute, man, you mean we could do a, it's my Kevin Smith, big bucket of wind, man. You mean we could do like, oh, we could do this every day? We could just talk on camera? Oh, man. Snoogans. Okay. Brand new introduction to the film by Kevin Smith. My Mallrat Memories, an all-new interview with Kevin Smith. A newly filmed tribute to producer Jim Jacks by Kevin Smith. Brand new interview with actor Jason Mewes. Brand new interview with cinematographer David Klein. Hollywood of the North, a newly produced animated making-of documentary featuring Minnesota crew members who worked on the film. Deleted scenes, Kevin Smith, okay, we deleted scenes. Outtakes, behind-the-scenes footage, cast interviews from the original set. Erection of an Epic, the making of Mallrats. That's the archival special feature. Q&A with Kevin Smith, archival Q&A from the 10th anniversary. And the Build Me Up Buttercup music video. Dare I say, this is now the definitive presentation of Mallrats. Until this gets a 4K version, this is the de facto, this is the ultimate Mallrats. You can see that kid on the escalator with resolution that you've never seen before. So that's gonna do it for this video. I just wanted to talk to you guys about these, and I'm gonna put links to Amazon in the description of this video. So if you're interested in these, and let's face it, like, are you not interested? Like, these are incredible. You can just scroll down to the description of this video and click directly through. Of course, I feel like I need to say any purchase that you make through a Serial at Midnight link, it does benefit Serial at Midnight. We get like 3 cents on the dollar or something like that. So you are helping Serial at Midnight, but most importantly, you're supporting really cool projects, and you're telling these companies, you're telling Blue Underground, you're telling Arrow Video that yes, there's an audience for super duper special editions with all the bells and whistles for the movies that we love, and that cinema fans will show up for experiments with movies like this, movies that are not super mainstream, but are incredibly popular with the cult audience. I can't recommend these enough. They're just, oh, look at the spines. Looks so good. Guys, thanks for hanging out during this video. Thanks to Blue Underground and Arrow Video for sending these over so I could share these with you. I've watched these. I do recommend them. They look so good. I want to know, do you have them? Did you buy them? Are you going to pick them up? If you do, what do you think about them? I always love to continue the conversation in the comments below. So thanks so much. Take care. And until next time, I will catch you later.